If it was good once, it can be good again. I am answering a question today from the Hit the Mic VIP community, which is a completely free community to join in Google+. The link is below. We are going to be talking about repurposing your content. I was asked specifically how I repurpose my content, which I really like the way she framed this question because there are a lot of ways to do this and you kind of have to play with it to see what's right for you. I do not have one road that like every piece of content goes down. Different things happen different ways. So I'm going to share the kind of variety of ways I repurpose my content. Now, I do want to talk about why it's important to repurpose content first. And that's because your content and your knowledge and your skill set and everything in here is super, super important. With that said, not everybody likes to receive content the same way. So you may really like watching Hit the Mic TV because, let's admit it, it's fantastic. However, you may be super like anti-long blog post. So if I present information here, you'll absorb it, you'll learn it, you will use it, and it will make the world a better place. However, if I only presented it in long form blog content, you would miss out. And then what would happen? Be sad. Sad, sad, sad. So I like to repurpose my content in lots of ways so that I can share it in lots of ways with lots of different people. Now, I also want to say I have not always provided content in a variety of mediums. That is actually relatively new. For the first couple of years of my business, I only wrote. I didn't do any audio or video. Of course, last year we started Hit the Mic podcast. I've done webinars for a couple of years. That's been video. But as you know, a couple of months ago, in fact, this is like episode, I don't know, like 15 or 14 or something of the show. I just started Hit the Mic TV like 3 months ago. So how I created content has evolved, but you can still repurpose even if you only want to repurpose it into a couple of different ways instead of the complete array of ways that I do. Repurposing good, lots of options. Now let me tell you how I do it. First up, most commonly repurposed content for me is podcast to blog post, meaning I have my podcast transcribed and then I use that material. I do edit it, and I turn those into guest posts that I pitch random places around the interwebs. Okay, not randomly, strategically chosen ones, but nonetheless different places around the interwebs. And so that is the simplest for me because it allows me to really, really simply keep a conversational tone because it was me talking, whereas typing, I don't do as well with that. It's tougher for me. It's not impossible, but it's tougher. So that makes that really easy for me, but also it saves me a ton of time because I'm not reinventing the wheel. The words already exist. I'm just getting them and it translated for me, so to speak. So that's my favorite way to repurpose content and probably the most common way I repurpose content. The other thing I will do is if I have a webinar that's really, really awesome and people really, really enjoy, you know, like all of my webinars, I like to break those down into smaller pieces and use them for things like Hit the Mic TV because my average webinar is 30 to 45 minutes, whereas Hit the Mic TV is under 5 minutes. So I can take little pieces of the webinar, little takeaways, and give them to you here. The same thing is true with podcasts. A lot of webinars become podcasts. A lot of podcasts become webinars. If I have a lot of questions around something, they want more information, I will commonly turn a podcast episode into a webinar. That's kind of how I repurpose content. Most importantly, I really look at how could this content best be served. For example, you won't see a ton of me repurposing tutorials where I actually show you a screenshot here on Hit the Mic TV because that is a critical piece of it, and that's hard for me to do in an audio format. Not everything can be repurposed, but as you've seen, a lot of it can be repurposed. So I would love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments below how you repurpose your content. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any episodes, and be sure to tune in for all of the episodes of Hit the Mic TV. Bye. For Google Plus communities, because of the way they're organized, you can have a really inclusive group that's also really clear content-wise because you do have the ability to break your conversation down into categories. I'm actually going to show you what this looks like in just a minute, but that really allows people to go in and get exactly what they need from your community.